Coming up today on GatorZone, we show you the trials and tribulations of Paige Johnson as she went from swimming to cross country and back to swimming. Meet senior swimmer Ben Wallace, who made an impact in distance events over his 4 years as a Gator. At the indoor track and field national championships, the women's team finished 4th, while the men claimed the national title for the 4th time in program history. We take a look at the career of a guy who has become a fan favorite on the men's basketball team and is well known by his nickname, Cheese. Plus, an all-new installment of Top Plays.
Oh my! The Gators have won the national championship. The Florida Gators have won the Southeastern Conference championship. GatorZone is presented by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of GatorZone alongside my partner Megan Parler. Jeff Cardozo here with you. Spring is awesome in these parts. Spring football has begun, so I know all of you out there are very excited about that. We're excited about baseball and softball, how good they are so far. You got lacrosse, track, so many different sports. Heck, let's throw tennis in there too. But we do want to talk about swimming to start, and the female side of things, because they had an okay season, ups and downs, but that's what happens when you are a student athlete. You have a lot of highs and you have a lot of lows, but how you deal with it, how you handle adversity is a big part of things, and that was the case for one of the student athletes here on campus.
Yeah, Jeff, Paige Johnson had something happen to her elbow, and she dealt with it in the best way possible. She still swam, also ran a little cross country, was on the track team, came back to swimming, and here's Shelby Granath with more of her story.
Paige Johnson's first year as a Gator was not easy, but it was her friendship with a teammate that got her through her freshman season.
My freshman year was really hard. I remember Lisa and Lisa couldn't even speak any English, but we became best friends, and I think we got each other through our freshman year.
The Hendersonville, Tennessee native improved and got better her first 2 years as a Gator, but there was still something holding her back. Paige had an abnormal growth on her elbow that was hindering her ability to perform.
It's called an osteochondroma. It's like a bone tumor, and it was benign. It didn't start to bother me until I started building muscle on top of it. During practice, my arm would fall asleep and it would hurt, and the doctor told me not to have surgery because of the place it was in. It had like a high chance of causing nerve damage.
After Paige's sophomore year, she had to make the difficult decision to quit swimming, a sport she has loved since she was 4 years old.
That was one of those teary situations. As a coach, it's not one you like to see, but it was certainly in her best interest. And at the time, it was the right thing to do.
Johnson didn't want to give up being an athlete, so she chose to be part of another team on UF's campus.
I didn't want to be normal, It was hard enough quitting, so I had just ran a half marathon, and I went pretty fast for a non-runner. So then I went to the coach, and he was like, "Sure, we'll give it a shot."
Called and told him I didn't know how fast she would run, but she'd always been our best runner when we ran in our conditioning phase, and said that whatever she did, she would help the team. Her attitude would be great, her work ethic would be great. The cross-country coach came back to me and said that she was one of the best trainers on the team. He could really count on an honest effort from her, and she was really tough.
Paige enjoyed her year on the cross-country and track team, but her arm was still bothering her, so she knew it was in her best interest to have the surgery. It was a risky procedure, but it went well, and Johnson was no longer in pain. Paige knew she belonged in the water, and a land sport just wasn't for her, so she went back to her first love.
Coming back to swimming was really hard. I swam with Coach Robert, the GSD coach, all summer just to get back in shape. But getting back in shape was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done.
That was a discussion she and I had. We wanted to put her in a successful situation to get started. A little humbling, but it was successful. She actually improved, swam pretty well last summer. And so when she did come in with the team, she was ready to do it.
Johnson is glad she took the year off from swimming because it helped her find a new appreciation and love for the sport and the University of Florida. Due to the adversity she overcame, she's also a great role model for this team.
Sometimes when you're here at Florida, you go through 4 years, and sometimes through those 4 years you get into a dynamic that you don't realize what a great situation, what a great opportunity it is. And I think this really clarified for everyone what it was, because she's extremely appreciative of the opportunity the university has given her and the opportunity to come back and do it again.
The fact that she came back and is swimming very well shows, you will have obstacles in your life, and you need to overcome them, and I feel like Paige has done that, and she can prove to everyone and show by example that you can do it.
Very much similar. You go in your careers and relationships, things don't always go the way you want. You have to learn how to handle those situations, make the best, and find a way to move forward. And Paige is a classic example of that.
Paige chose to forgo her senior year of eligibility, and her Gator career came to an end before the NCAA championships. But Scherringer has no regrets about her time here, and she knows she'll be a Gator for life.
No matter where I go, I'm always going to carry being a Florida athlete and what it took, and it's a lot of pride.
From swimming to track and back to swimming, Paige Scherringer did not have the easiest Gator career. But even when the waters got rough, she never lost sight of her love and passion for being a student athlete at the University of Florida. For Gators Own, I'm Shelby Granath.
All right, Shelby, thank you very much. Great stuff by Shelby, and just a great story, because it shows you have to battle. You're going to have good things happen, you're going to have bad things happen, but how you handle it has not only made her better here at Florida, but it will for the rest of her life.
Yeah, and on the men's side of things, a senior from Maryland, he was the #1 recruit out of the state when he came out of high school. Distance swimmer. The seniors have been doing awesome stuff on the men's side, so here's a little more on Ben Lawless.
Senior Ben Lawless started swimming when he was 8 years old. But then his passion for the sport grew, and he started swimming competitively year-round when he was 14.
I like the competitive nature of it. I really enjoy racing, and I enjoy the structure that swimming gives me, so all that combined really made me fall in love with it.
Being a Gator had been Lawless's dream since he was a freshman in high school.
My club coach said, if you want to go to swim in college, you have to go swim at the University of Florida. I said, well, all right, I got to get a little faster to do that. But ever since I've been about 13 or 14, swimming at the University of Florida has been my goal.
Lawless brings a lot of effort and passion to this team, which makes him a great teammate. But he's also a very coachable athlete.
Great to work with, very responsive. You talk to him about where you want to go, what you're doing, gives you really good feedback. So as a coach, he makes you a better coach. The information he gives you back is really good, and it's not glazed over. He's pretty good about viewing his own faults and his own weaknesses and finding ways to improve those. Whatever we get at the meet is going to be as honest an effort as we can possibly get. Can't ask for anything more than that.
Ben is a distance swimmer, and he may not enjoy training for those long races, but when he takes his mark and starts a race, his competitive attitude kicks in.
It's not like the 50 where it's done in 20 seconds. It takes a lot of skill. There's a lot of lead changes. It's a lot of conservation of energy, but also not going out too slow. And when you get down to it, distance race is basically a race of how tough are you, who can grit it out for the longest and who wants it the most. And that's what's kind of pure about distance racing. You don't have to be the most talented swimmer to be good at distance, and that's why I like swimming.
Lawless says his favorite memory as a Gator was qualifying for the NCAA meet his freshman year at the Last Chance meet. What Ben learned at his first national championship helped him be more successful as a sophomore and a junior.
There was really no pressure on me, so I thought I'm just going to go out and give it everything and show the world like I made NCs and I can do it again. It let me know what the NCAA meet was like, so I could have more experience and compete at a higher level.
The Maryland native was not highly recruited, but Ben's relentless attitude and work ethic has made him one of the best distance swimmers on this Gator team.
I wasn't the most talented swimmer coming in, but my training and my preparation have gotten me to the point where I can compete against a lot of guys swimming distance.
Ben Lawless's definition of what it means to be a Gator has grown and developed throughout his time here at UF. And now, as he's about to graduate, he knows the orange and blue is forever.
After 3 years of living in Gainesville and training and going to school and making new friendships, it's who I am. I carry the brand with me, and everything I do represents me as a Florida Gator, and it's pretty amazing. I will identify as a Florida Gator for the rest of my life.
For Gators Own, I'm Shelby Granath.
So we wish Ben and the rest of the boys good luck. They are in Minnesota this weekend competing for a national title. Now, hopefully it's indoors, not outdoors. It's freezing up there Still, that's why we are lucky to be here in Florida.
Yep, we got to get to our next break here on GatorZone, but much more when we return.
GatorZone is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. And by Gatorade. Win from within.
Hey everyone, and welcome back into GatorZone. Jeff and I made our way over to the F Club, and right inside, I'm sure in a couple of months, we'll have a new updated photo of the 2018 Men's Track and Field Indoor National Champions.
Yeah, how about that? Mouse has been magical. Their 4th indoor title, and they've got 4 outdoor titles as well, so 4 plus 4 is 8, right? That makes them the most successful program on campus that win a national title. It's pretty special stuff, so let's relive that great moment.
The 2018 Indoor Track and Field Championships took place in College Station, Texas on March 9th and 10th. The Florida Gators took home 2 trophies that weekend. The women's team placed 4th, and the men's team returned national champions.
We've gone to a lot of meets where we had room to make a mistake here or there. We had no room for error in this one. So that made it a little bit more intense for us as we went throughout the weekend. But I think the thing that made it really special was just how much the guys never flinched.
Sophomore Grant Holloway contributed 19.5 points for the men's team. He placed in 3 different events.
Grant Holloway, just a sophomore from Florida, on his 5th attempt, they hustled him over. They let him jump out of order, 26 feet, 8 1/4 in the 5th round. It was a personal best.
I'd go to any coach in the country and go, I got a 26.8 lawn jumper for you. They'll take him. Any coach in the country, I got a 7.42 hurdler. They're going to take him.
Holloway with a good start in lane 4, the only one in the field that takes 7 steps to the first hurdle. He's running away from it. Now it's just the clock.
They all said, oh, by the way, he can also split 44 in the relay.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is Grant Holloway.
And if Grant gets on the track, he's going to give you 100%.
Senior Keandre Bates placed 2nd in triple jump.
I think that, Keandre is going to go down in history as one of the best jumpers to ever come through this program. People wanted to blame Keandre because we lost the conference championships, and I wasn't going to allow that. We're a team, we're a family, we all take that burden, and that starts here with me. And so when we talk to Keandre after me, I just want you to remember who you are. You always show up at the big meet. And he said, you're right. And he just, little by little, I watched him get his focus together, I watched him get his technique together, and I was never a doubt in my mind he was going to do well to me.
Keandre's triple jump teammate and roommate, Clayton Brown, came in clutch with a season best jump to place 4th and score 5 necessary points for the men's team.
Yeah, we talk about that. We asked you guys sitting around your apartment said, hey, let's give the coaches a heart attack. But no, I just think it's just 2 guys that they have a tendency to overcompete.
For the men's, it all came down to the 4x4.
We never talked about what place we had to be in the 4x4, but I'm sure those guys knew.
He just needs to hang on to the baton, and Florida wins the national title.
It wasn't about winning the race or even getting 2nd at that point. It was just making sure we finished the race and got the points needed to be the national team champion. So.
The men's team weren't the only winners. A young women's team took 4th place.
Sharika Barnett not about to give it up without a fight.
My excitement with Sharika moving forward is that now I think Sharika believes what we've believed all along, that she's one of the elite quarter milers in the world.
Junior Giannis David placed 2nd in triple jump.
I don't think people understand when you're the 7th best jumper in the history of an event. That's something that speaks volumes to her talent.
Senior Loydrisha Cameron threw 17.33 meters in the shot put.
She's really come of age and done a phenomenal job of connecting with Coach Lemke.
Brandy Johnson, Taylor Manson, Lauren Gee, and Sharika Barnett won the women's 4x4.
So Sharika Barnett going to bring Florida home.
The charge for me is to not fall asleep at the wheel, because if we do, then we'll wake up one day and we'll be irrelevant, and we're not going to do that. We're going to, we're going to stay woke.
Earlier this segment, we talked about Mouse, and next segment, we're going to talk some cheese. Who knew? Special stuff here on GatorZone.
GatorZone is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. And by Gatorade. Win from within.
Hey everybody, welcome back to GatorZone. Jeff and Megan now in the men's practice court here on the University of Florida campus, where of course the season ended a little shorter than what we had hoped for, but we did get to see Chiozza for 4 years, and that was certainly a great thing. And so many great players have played on this court right here. You see the Final Fours on the wall, and Cheese is going to leave this program as one of the best.
Yeah, Jeff, he set so many records. He's now the assist record holder here. He scored 1,000 points in his senior year and made that amazing, miraculous, crazy shot that all Gator fans will always remember last year against Wisconsin.
Yeah, we will never forget it, and you guys will never forget Chris Chiozza.
As you approach the end of any journey, there's a natural tendency to look back and reflect on how you got there. For Chris Chiozza, the impending conclusion of his college career has given him a chance to consider his growth as a Gator.
I become a little bit more vocal was probably the biggest thing, and just got a little bigger, but mostly I feel like I've grown the most as a leader over the years, just gaining my teammates' respect and just trying to be more vocal and everything.
The Memphis native arrived on campus without much fanfare and had the opportunity to play behind incumbent point guard Casey Hill for 3 years, which gave him the chance to learn some important lessons.
Just always, trying to be there for my team, not just, vocally, lead by example, which is what I like to do the most. I'm not very vocal, but, I learned from him that at times that you have to be vocal and you have to, be able to, tell people what to do, even though, it's out of your comfort zone. But, that's what's best for the team. You got to be able to do it.
Chiozza may be naturally quiet, but his play has certainly spoken for itself, especially on the biggest stages where he's made his name. But it's not just making buzzer beaters that's impressive. It's his willingness to step up in those moments and put it all on the line.
It's just a confidence thing that I have. If I miss all my shots in the game, I got a chance to take a shot at the end. I have confidence I'm going to make it.
And so do his teammates, who've seen him pull off remarkable feats both under the lights and on the practice court.
5 seconds left. Guys now front. She steals the ball. Chiozza with a steal. He runs down. He scores. He scores. And the ball game is going to be all over. And the Gators have won the game. Oh my! Unbelievable comeback victory. Florida wins 77-75. Oh my!
He's always hitting crazy shots, stuff like that. So I think if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Cheese. I feel like because of how hard he works, he ends up in those positions. He's the guy that you want, the ball in his hands, when the clock's ticking down.
As for the play that Chiozza remembers most fondly, it's probably not what you'd expect. Far from the lights of Madison Square Garden, where he shocked Wisconsin at the Horn, Cheese thinks more about his first career points as a freshman at the O-Dome.
It took me longer in the game to get them than I thought it would. When you come in, high school, you can score a lot of points. It's pretty easy, but, in college, I struggled early with scoring, and, those 2 points came on a fast break on the steal, so it felt really good. I worked hard for that, so I ain't gonna forget that one.
The inevitable question for any senior is, what's next? In the case of Chiozza, his coaches think the sky is the limit.
You don't want to ever put expectations on a kid, but nothing would surprise me with Cheese. I could see him going and playing a year in the D-League and working his way up and finding a way on an NBA roster. I could see him going overseas. He's such a worldly kid and someone that is great with people. I could see him going and being a EuroLeague champion and playing in Spain or Italy or a great country to live in. If you told me in 3 years Cheese is anywhere, and none of it would surprise me because he's such a unique guy. I think he'll find a good situation, and I could see him being one of those guys that stays with the team for a long time because he has such a likable personality.
While the future chapters of Chris Chiozza's story have yet to be written, he has a concise entry for how he wants to be remembered in the annals of Florida basketball.
The winner and a competitor. He's just probably the hardest playing dude on the court.
With a career highlighted by epic moments and an unflappable work ethic, it's safe to say there are no holes in Cheese's legacy. For Inside Gator Basketball, I'm Adam Schick.
Well, thanks so much, Adam and Jeff. I know Gator Nation and all of us will definitely miss Chris Chiozza on the court, and we'll miss men's basketball season, but countdown's on. 7 months until we can watch men's hoops again.
Seems like a long time. We think it's only 120 seconds till we get to show you some top plays. Nice. Ooh, one last assist in honor of Chris Chiozza. Nice pass, Megan. Here's some more great plays from the Gator Nation.
Today's top plays are brought to you by Nike. The third baseman, Martin, is playing in on the grass this time. And he swings and hits a deep drive into right field. Lippett has lofted this ball into the Razorback bullpen. Lippett with his 6th consecutive hit spanning 2 games, has his first home run of the year.
Stay hot, kid. India, the Gators' best hitter. Swings to the first pitch and hits it well out towards right center. Going back is Cole. He's at the track. Bye-bye baseball. A grand salami. And Jonathan India has just put 4 Gators across home plate with his 9th home run of the season. And what a start for Florida here this afternoon. 0-1, another breaking ball hit down the third base line, and it hits the bag, bounces over the glove of the third baseman, and Dalton's going to have a double. Now the left fielder misplays it, so Maldonado's going to come around to score. Dalton's going to try to do the same. Here comes the throw. It is not in time.
Pitch. Swinging a ball cranked high and deep left field. Going back is Milligan, and it's gone. A 2-run home run for Janelle Wheaton, her 2nd of the season, and the Gators hop in front 4-0. 2 strikes, Barnhill pitches. Swinging a flared shot towards left field. Loren's first step was back, makes a headlong diving catch for the out in left field.
Here it is, swinging a drive, deep left field. This ball is gone. So J.J. Schwartz blasts his way out of a slump. His first hit of the series is a big one, and the Gators reclaim the lead 3-2.
Long hold by Cronin. 0-2 pitch drilled out towards left. This ball is back to the wall and gone. An 0-2 home run for Nelly, and a mistake there from the lefty Cronin. And just like that, the Gators have a 2-run advantage, and a big smile on Maldonado's face as he rounds third and heads for home. He's a brown-eyed, handsome man, and it's 5-3 Gators.
1 ball, no strikes. Pointer will deal. Swinging a ball ripped high in deep center field. Going back is Russell to the wall, and it's gone. A 2-run home run for Nicole DeWitt, her 7th of the campaign, and the Gators strike first.
So you saw that great assist from Megan and a lot of great plays, diving catches, home runs. I mean, it's a phenomenal time to be around these parts, and certainly excited about what's in store for the rest of the spring season. But nothing in store for us because we are done. But another fun episode of GatorZone.
Yeah, Jeff, and like you said, the spring's always busy. You can always follow the Gators on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Yeah, make sure you do it. So for my partner,
Megan Parler,
and the wonderful camera work of Gareth Gutierrez, I am Jeff Cardozo. We'll see you guys next time.